from. So agribusiness is actually the answer to all our problems. I'd love to say that my jam is 100% organic jam. Our fruits, we source them from local farmers, and these local farmers are people who are in the upcountry areas. Like for instance, these oranges, we get them from Machakos County. We even have strawberry jam, which we get from Nyahururu, and even we also have peanut butter, which we get from Kakamega County, and all those. We try to get the best places that have the best produce. Yeah, mangoes from different places of Kenya, and in that way we support people who, farmers, young farmers, old farmers, all the types of farmers that are there in the market. We try to support them, to give them a steady market, and also to encourage them to get into value addition, because without value addition we'll be having so much food wastage. A third of the produce that we get as a country goes to waste, and that's a very huge amount, because you can just transport that food to people who need it most.
John sasa anatueleza changamoto zinazokumba biashara yake na soko lake haswa ni nani, kwa kuwa wanasema a great business huanza na kujenga msingi wa wateja.
Okay, I think it's very expensive to transport fresh produce. The logistics we use are actually quite expensive, because at first we started using the local means of transport, which is the matatu, and we use them as a parcel. We have them wrapped and all those things. But then after a year or so of saving, we got to purchase a small car, which we use to get from all those places. Yeah. Once I make this fruit jam, I usually brand it and sell it to individuals who want to get the natural jam, and even to some restaurants. We produce and tender to some restaurants and some hospitals in Nairobi County, and we're looking to expand as well. And through that's how we get our profits. We also go to certain events like food festivals and all those things. So if that profit, we budget for it very well. We have an accountant who helps us to budget very well for the produce, what comes in and what goes out, and at what rate. So we have 5 people. We work together. It's five of us. I am the founder, and I do production. I also have an assistant producer who is his name is Rogers, and we also have a photographer who takes care of our social media pages, and we also have a web designer, and she helps us with all those websites and all those things. Yeah, and then we also have logistics, the driver. Yeah, and we also have, there are many of us, a kind of many. Yeah. We have 2 types of packages. We have the small containers. I unfortunately don't have them with me now. But then we also have these glass messengers, and this is what we use. This is what we use for our retail market. This messenger is 200 grams, and then we also have labeling. The labels that we use, we get them from someone who makes them for us from town, and I'd say they are quite simple, very nice. Yeah.
Ndio sasa tunaingia kwenye juicy part, literally, ambapo June anatuonyesha mchakato mzima, tunda la chungwa likiishia kuwa siagi. Wazungu wanaita marmalade. Sijui tofauti yake na jam ni ipi. June atatueleza.
Today we're going to be making the orange marmalade, which is the most loved flavor. So what we do, if you have your oranges, if you're a farmer, you've harvested them, you wash them very nicely, because with jam we're trying to remove all sorts of microorganisms. Yeah. So what you do, you cut them into half, and then you squeeze the juice out. This is how you can make it at home. It's not for the industrial process. So you squeeze out the juice. You can use a squeezer if you have one available. And then squeeze out all the juice. Let me hold it. As you can see, these are very juicy oranges.
I was about to ask you the same question. Do you tend to go for those juicy oranges.
As you know, this is value addition. So we're looking, what the kind of fruits we're looking at are the fruits that we think, if this fruit does not get eaten today or tomorrow, it might go bad, and we want to preserve that.
Yeah.
So it's very right. It's fine.
Talking about preservatives, do you tend to put preservatives in your jam?
No, I don't put preservatives in the jam. The jam is the most natural jam that we use. Because as I said, I'm practicing nutrition, and that is one thing that I'd like to help reduce the rest of the infectious diseases that come through, contaminated food or what do you say, chemicals in food, the preservatives, the colors, the flavors. We try to keep it as natural as possible, so that we can also enjoy the taste. And even for those people who have, let's say, lifestyle issues like diabetes, instead of using the normal sugar granules, we use natural sweeteners. These that are not gluten-free. So after you squeeze the juice out, you squeeze all the juices, and you measure. In jam, the ratio for making jam is usually 1:1. That means 1 part fruit and 1 part sugar, because sugar is very essential in the making of jam. So we squeeze out the juice that is equivalent to 1 liter or 1 kg. And then after doing that, you see this is the pulp that's inside the orange. Nothing goes to waste. The pulp that's inside the orange, you scrape it out, and then you blend it. And then the rind of the oranges, we shred them so that it can provide that marmalade flavor. The difference between a marmalade and a jam is that a marmalade is a jam that contains the rind. Even so, if you're making jam out of lemon, it will be a marmalade because you use the rind. But for strawberries, it's just a jam because you don't use any rind. Yeah. So after we've shredded the rind, we've blended the pulp, and then we add the sugar, and then we mix, we stir it, and then we put it under heat so that it can pasteurize and boil. And then during that is when we measure for the moisture content using a refractometer. And then once the moisture has left the mixture, that's when you know that the process is ready.
Mkoko sasa ndio unaalika maua. Tunaenda katika mapumziko mafupi. Tukirejea tutakuwa upande wa pili, jikoni, where all the magic happens. Usibanduke.
And banks to take note of the situation that we are in and to reduce the cost of transactions during this period. Number 7, in line with the directive to avoid crowded places, citizens are encouraged to A, avoid congregating, including in places of worship. B, minimize attendance to social gatherings, including weddings and funerals, and restrict the same to immediate family members. C, we call for people to avoid crowded places, including shopping malls and entertainment premises. And D, minimize congestion in public transport whenever possible. Lastly, E, the limitation of visitors to hospitalized patients in both public and private hospitals. Number 8, hospitals and shopping malls are encouraged to provide soap, water, sanitizers, ensure that all their premises are regularly cleaned. Fellow Kenyans, globally, the impact of the virus is staggering. That my administration is at the forefront of assessing, containing, and managing this pandemic in our country. Some of the measures that we have taken today may cause inconvenience, but I want to assure you that they are designated and designed to ensure that we effectively contain the spread of this deadly virus. I want to appeal to each and every one of you to strictly observe these measures, but I would also appeal for calm. Kenyans, please let us avoid misinformation that causes panic and anxiety. Let us all remember that as Kenyans, we have been faced with other crises in the past, but we have always triumphed by coming together in the spirit of national unity that we shall also equally not entertain, hoarding or raising prices, wananchi taking advantage of this situation to create artificial shortages so that mwananchi is made to pay more. The Competition Authority has already been given clear instructions, and they will be moving around. And anybody who is seen to have taken unnecessary and undue advantage of a particular crisis to make our citizens pay more than they should, serious and severe action will be taken against those who perpetuate in that ungodly act. So I just wanted to really emphasize on that. I'm sure you probably have some more technical questions. The National Emergency Response Team is here. I will leave you, Bwana Waziri, to continue on so that maybe you can give and answer some of the more technical questions that maybe these good people may have, so that they can keep wananchi adequately informed. I thank you, and once again, God bless you all. Asanteni sana.
All right, sir. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think now it's done. We'll follow up with the detailed circular for